shark's fin. Lovely crippler. Little bit of a waggle on the end, but she got the grab. Now she's got to make speed here. Front side 540. She's toned it right down. She just wants to make this. Cab, double under flip 900, and she's made the sweet spot of the landing very nicely. Just got to make it through here. Switch backside, 180 melon, I think that was. Really nice little touch there to finish. But compare it to the switch backside 540s we saw from both Zoe Sadowski-Synnott and Jamie Anderson. This one's going to be under the cab. Double under 9 is the big one. So fairly basic on the rails up at the top, that first rail section. Second rail section here starts to get a bit more technical, but she has to fight for that spin. So crippler, a little bit ragged once she let go of the grab. Front side 540 double grab. Into this cab. Call that a melon, true melon. 70.75, good enough for third place for Anna Gasser in a two-run format. It's arguably the best she could hope for. She pushed Reiwa Iwabuchi down into fourth, but tell you what, Zoe Sadowski-Synnott and Jamie Anderson will breathe a sigh of relief up at the top, one of their most experienced rivals dropping off. Next in, Tess Cody of Australia. Half cab tail tap to board slide 50-50, 180 out. Lovely cab one to back three. Really tidy set of rails in terms of execution. It would be good on the scores. Crippler, a little shifty as she came out. So then you twist the board sideways. Front side 720 tail. Good speed here. Into backside 900, holds on to it. Slight speed correction there, but the judges won't penalise her. And a switch backside 180 nose grab. So it's such a shame when you look at the runs that we're starting to see now, you can't help but feel robbed by those. All of the runs we saw where the women were blown over the knuckles and couldn't complete their runs. So board slide 50-50, front one out. Then half cab to backside 360. On that cannon rail. It's crippler. Gets the grab and then lets go early. Gets that big shifty. Doesn't quite look in control of it enough to instill the judges with confidence, I think. Front seven, melon to tail grab. I missed that melon, actually. And then the backside 9, this is big. Flat spin, backside 9 mute. So close to clipping the toe edge there. Got away with it. Switch backside 180 nose grab. Would have been a true tail, but I'm not going to split hairs on trick pedantry today. So many different options you can run through. So 74.18, this is nice, starting to see some congestion up at the top of the table. Much better representation in terms of scores of the talent we've got on display. So Tess Cody on a 74.18, just behind Jamie Anderson, 74.66. Zoe Sadowski-Synnott still leading, 82.96. Reiwa Iwabuchi has that fire in her belly. Lovely overcrooked board slide when you sort of tweak the tail further forward. 50-50, front side 360 out. And in, lovely wildcat, just straight over the tail of the board with the front side grab. Now here's where the big tricks come from the Japanese riders. Went for back 10, a big statement on the first kicker, but couldn't hold on to it. So Reiwa Iwabuchi, disappointed with that one. She'll be really, really upset with herself. I always think that there might be something lost in translation with Reiwa, but she's very, very direct when you speak to her. She's like, I must win more medals. I am going to win next time. And you sort of think, wow, okay. And I'm never sure whether she's that committed and determined or if there's something lost in translation, as I said. Love that over-crooked board slide. But that's a great illustration, actually, of something the judges are looking for. I was talking to the rail judges this morning, and they say, are you locked into a rail? Which means, are you balanced on it, or is the board moving side to side? If the rail was 2 meters longer, would you still be on it? And the answer for Rewa there was no. Look at that, such a cruel trick. I think the wind dropped off a bit. She thought maybe that she was going to be landing a couple of tenths of a second earlier, so it opened up ready for the compression, but there was no landing there. 26.53. So she'll take her first run score of 57.48, but it's that long, nervous wait now for Rewa Iwabuchi. Laurie Bluant, I called it a round peg in the square hole in the first run. She really couldn't find her mojo. She managed to relax now. Certainly that's what happened in the semis. Let's see if she can settle herself. She's so used to riding in adverse conditions, and it's actually where she shines. She's had her best results when conditions have been less than perfect. The only goofy footer in the final as well. This back three, tap as she goes over. Nose slide. And full slide 270 out. Lines up. Lovely slow crippler, and she's found her groove. That's it, riding very smoothly now. Frontside 540. Coming in switch. Needs something big here. Cab, double under, 9. Yeah. Nice little rodeo in here. Oh, switch backside 180, out of the bird bath. So a steady run. I think that's what she would have wanted on her first run. It's certainly not a push run, but it's a very, very solid one. And this is starting to create a bit of a headache for the judges now, because having had so many riders miss their first runs, they're now all coming out with a steady second run. And the reason they're doing that, the reason they're not going for the win, is because this is the first. And with the uncertainty we're facing at the moment, potentially the only Olympic qualifying event. So no one can afford to go all out for the win. What they want is just a solid top 5 place. So we're seeing a lot of conservative runs here as riders just try and get the best possible placing. That was a push though. The cab, double under 900. But she comes in here. She doesn't want to mess it up at this stage. Goes frontside 180 to switch backside 180. Very simple.
Yo, just smoke!
So a big shout out for Laurie Bluant. Can't see it, you got your polarizer on. But let's see what the judges get. I'm predicting a log jam around 75 here. Currently we've got Anna Gasser on 70.75, Tess Cody on 74.18, and Jamie Anderson on 74.66. What I'd like to see is something above 74.66 that would push out and put pressure on Jamie Anderson, but it's not to be. 71.96 for Laurie Bluant, which is good enough for 4th place, just misses out on the podium at the moment. 3 riders left to drop, 2 of them are already in the top 3. Kokomo Marassi is not on the podium, and she has the trick bag to get there. She got ripped off by the wind on the first run. Can she make amends this second run? Surely the feedback from Rewa Iwabuchi, her countrywoman, will be that the wind isn't as strong and you can really get a hold of this run. So clean top rail section onto the cannon. Oh no, and she's leant forward onto that toe edge. And that is all she wrote. We know that execution is the critical part of these runs. Oh, disappointment for Kokomo. This is what you could have won. A backside 1080 into frontside 900. Half cab to the back 3.
Oh, that is such a shame.
Oh, Kokomo. would have been such a strong, strong run. Let's take another look through this. Lovely front three, into that board slide. So it's, I mean, it's fairly basic. She hasn't taken any risks up there, but she's just too heavy on the front foot. She gets on her toe edge, gets shot out the front door there. Oh, disappointment. There's that front nine. Half cab, backside 360. So Kokomo Marassi, disappointment. You can actually see it there. If you wanted to bottle disappointment, that is what it looks like. 45.36 for Kokomo Marassi. She really, really wanted something bigger there, and Reiwa Iwabuchi's there to commiserate with her. For both of the Japanese riders in 6th and 7th, it's a disappointing day. Back up at the top, Zoe Sadowski-Synnott is in the luxurious position of sitting in first place with only one rider left to drop, but it is Jamie Anderson. So Zoe Sadowski-Synnott guaranteed first or second here. But I know Zoe, there is no way she's going to hold back on this run. We are about to witness the fully operational power of the Sadowski-Synnott power station. Using that little double barrel with the 270 out, 50-50 to backside lip slide or front board, you decide. She's got that board slide to 450 underflip on rails. Now she fires in. Beautiful cab 5 and goes deep, but can't hold on to it. Disappointment. Doesn't matter though. Jamie Anderson knows it's going to take a big, big run to overhaul Zoe Sadowski-Synnott's first run. So Zoe can send that knuckle hug to flat, safe in the knowledge that Jamie Anderson is under pressure. That's lovely, wasn't it? It's a mild frustration for Zoe, but she can enjoy watching Jamie Anderson. Look at that big smile still. Thumbs up, a little penguin wobble, same as Sebi de Buck, the 50-50. I'm going to call that back lip. I don't think it is a front board. Love that, the purchase she's got off that. I saw in Snow Park this summer down in New Zealand, they'd set up a little cannon like that for everyone to get their heads around those, and Zoe worked it really, really hard. So lovely to see that coming into a competition run. Shaka Bra sneaking in. She knows this score is not going to better her first run score of 82.96, but she's put that high mark in. So it's the classic Zen mindset for Jamie Anderson. So many times we've seen her under pressure. When she needs a big run, put her hands together in prayer in front of her chest and settle herself. She needs a jump of 10 points on that first run, but if anyone's got it, Jamie Anderson does. So drops in, switch, little half cab tail tap. Front blunt to 270 out. Lovely front blunt, 270 out. Very, very smooth so far. Backside 540, and it's huge, goes really deep there and holds on to it. And, cab, underflip 9 to a floaty front 7. She's got a bit of work to do to kill the speed there. Switch backside 5 with the grab this time. That is very, very smooth. Very smooth. This is going to be a big test. Zoe Sadowski-Synnott had the 9 in her run. She had the 7. Jamie Anderson has the 9 and the 7. It's going to come down. I think if I'm really... Look, Zoe's right there. Both of them just showing their respect for each other. Now, I think Zoe used the little double barrel a little bit more. She might be ahead on that, and I think she was slightly more technical on the rail, but Jamie has the 270 out. Zoe is winning here. Section 2, most definitely. She's got that board slide to 450 underflip out. This is much tidier and bigger from Jamie, though. Really are going. It's 10th of a point for 10th of a point here. Cab double 9, that was beautiful. Very often you see the women succumbing to more of a sort of 90 backflip 90, but that was a real legit cab 9. Then that beautiful frontside 7, and she's landing perfectly, centered on top of the board. Then frontside 180 butter to switch backside 540. And the grab was really strong on that. Oh, the judges. There's smoke coming out of that booth as the processing power starts winding up. But there are 9 judges in there. 84.35. She does her by just under 2 points. Jamie Anderson, under pressure, yet again, delivers. Zoe Sadowski-Synnott has every right to feel disappointed there. She was very, very close, but she got given a good opportunity with that second run to really put the icing on her cake, and she couldn't do it. So Jamie Anderson takes another win. That makes it 4 for the American here at the laax Open. A very, very impressive performance. The American coach, part of Jamie's bubble, so able to give her a congratulatory hug there. So Anderson in first, so tight between her and Zoe Sadowski-Synnott in second. And Tess Cody, the surprise, another Antipodean on the podium in third. Laurie Blouin salvaged that second run for third. Anna Gasser, a very safe run in her second bite of the cherry, gets her up into fifth. Disappointment for the Japanese. And Hayley Langland not able to ride on that second run. So 8th place for her.
Today, and then yeah, I'm so stoked. It's pretty sick.
And talk about the field. I mean, it's a strong competition. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just super psyched to make finals. Like everyone was landing in qualifiers, and it was super sick. But when I made finals, I was like over the moon. So this is like insane. I'm so stoked. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you.
And thank you.
Let's go!
Manu, lass uns das mal koordinieren, gleich, wenn wir die anderen haben, dass du sagst, dass du nicht reinzählt, dass wir das richtig machen. Jetzt kann ich die Handpunkte dann nehmen. Manu? Okay, we're here with the winner, Jamie Anderson, yet another laax Open title. Jamie, first of all, how are you feeling about that? You must be super proud.
Yes, I actually can't believe it. I'm so impressed with all the girls riding, and I didn't know if my run would be enough, but I decided I was gonna just send it and try to go big and be as stylish as I can, and I'm ecstatic. I'm really happy.
How much does your experience help in slightly difficult conditions to take away these victories?
Honestly, I don't even know. It's stormy. I was so slow on my first run. I really wanted to do my cab 9, but I knew there's no way. So I felt pretty pissed off and frustrated. And thankfully Ryan from Montserrat. My wax tech hooked me up, gave me some extra speed, and as everyone rode, it got a little bit faster. So watching the girls on the second run, I was like really passionate. I'm like, I got this. I can go.
And there are obviously not that many contests this season. So in terms of qualifying for another Olympic Games, how important is this victory for you here today?
This is super important. I'm only doing a couple events this year, maybe this, the next games, and then into natural selection. So I'm freaking blown away. I'm so proud of myself. Riding with all these little youngsters, and yeah, I'm stoked. Thank you, laax, and the World Cup for hosting such a good event.
And what is it about laax? I mean, I think it's your fourth title here. What is it that you like about this place, about the slopestyle courses here? I mean, it's something that's, you know, you like it.
Yeah, it's my 5th title, and I can't believe it. I love Switzerland. I think it's in the water.
Thank you very much. Back to Ed, please.
Soaring eagle of a method. Tail grab to another method. Love it. Straight trailing arm. Try and lift up the tail. I've always said it with Mats, very quiet, very intense and analytical. Lovely, but he really does pull competition performances and courses to pieces. Very, very strategic. One of the first riders to get switch backside 16s on lock. Can literally do them on demand, as we saw in his first run here. So 18.41, Nicholas Mattsson gets to watch the next 11 men drop. It's going to be a long and nervous wait. Sebi de Buck got shinned so badly in his first run. Let's hope he's recovered. Another one of the elder statesmen, Slopestyle, 25 years old, out of Belgium. Tall drink of milk as well at 190 cm tall. He makes it look so good. Gets that stall with the little 270 off. Let's see what the judges make of that. Switch backside lip slide. Back blunt 270 out. And lovely double crippler. But you've got to say, we see Mattsson doing that switch. Lovely backside rodeo 9 or off axis 900. Comes in, switch backside 12. And into the roller. Lovely little shifted butter. And then cab 720 off. That was really, really nice run. He's almost a victim of his own success. He's so stylish, and he can make everything look so casual that he doesn't get you up out of your seat, and yet what he's doing is so technical. Really want to know how that double barrel section scores, what he gets off that top bit. Because you know the judges consider that a part of the course. They don't want to see it overlooked, but it always feels a bit pedestrian. Apologise, I called that 270 out on Sebi, but it's a 450. He's got the double crippler. I think when you're comparing apples with apples against Nicholas Mattsson, the current leader, the fact that he's doing that trick switch, as Tim Ward described it, as switch is like trying to write with your left hand, wearing a chip hat and being attacked by seagulls. Like, just a double crippler versus a switch double crippler, there's really no comparison. But Sebi getting plenty of bounce to the ounce down at the bottom of the course. That cab 720. Love this. So drifting off his heels to that backside, kind of rodeo 9. It's not quite rodeo because the board doesn't go over his head. I always feel like the board has to be above your head. I call it off axis there. So currently scores to beat, 78.3 to get on the podium, 74.43 for Sebi, puts him into 6th position. Sorry, 4th position. very, very strong. Next up, we have out of the States, Jake Cantor.
Super stoked. First World Cup slopestyle I've ever been in. Yeah, I was lucky enough to just like be able to train at home, having the mountain open, and got the call from the team and came here as fast as I could.
So Jake Cantor's first World Cup. Got his first big start at 2019 at X Games when Mark McMorris didn't want to ride the knuckle huck and give him his spot. Out of Evergreen, Colorado. And he's made finals, so it's going to be a big day for the 17-year-old. Stretching his hamstrings out, pops his way in. Nice front three. Nose slide 270 out. Board slide cab 450. Cab 720, puts that down really nicely. Heads up. Oh! That switch, I think that was switch 16. I think he was going really big on that. Jake currently in 6th, and he put a switch backside 12 there. So he's adding it up a little bit. Look at that. Beautiful. So the front three nose tap. Board slide, pretzel 270, so rotating the opposite way out to the rotation in. So you kind of have to unwind your body on the rail. Switch board slide, flip 630. Cab 7. Need to take another look at this one. Winds up. Yeah, the 12. So he wasn't looking to add anything onto that. Potentially he'd seen that just tidying up the execution was what was going to do it for the judges. Wasn't to be Jake, so he's going to sit in 6th position. 63.63 is his current score.
And just an announcement for anyone who does end up on the podium, all our podium.
Next up, Jonas Bosinger.
Das Wichtigste, was ich gelernt habe von dem Jahr, ist sicher, dass wir so unsere Freiheit und unsere unbegrenzten Möglichkeiten, die wir kennen, nicht dürfen einfach so hinhauen und das akzeptieren als etwas Normales. Das ist etwas sehr Spezielles, was wir in unserem Land dürfen machen und all die Möglichkeiten, die wir haben.
So Jonas Bosinger, the first of the 4 Swiss to drop in these second runs, and not one of them in the top 6 at the moment, having had all 4 of them in the top 6 in the semis. Really have got to turn it on now. Conditions deteriorating maybe a little bit. So frontside 180, cab 270, on 270, off on the waterfall rail. Lip slide, 630 out, and he's slipped over. Not to be for the man who loves a bit of skydiving and paragliding. A couple of times at the Open, he's ridden up here, and then he's got his chute with him, and he'll ride off down to Flims afterwards. One of Giacomo Cratter's proteges, the pipe and slope legend from the late 90s. So much talent, just not able to deliver in the finals. Just the moment you take the pressure off, he starts riding like that. So this is what he was looking for, the underflip 630 out.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how much.
Maybe a bit straight-legged on the compression. Oh, wait too far over the front. Board flexes up so the heel edge isn't in contact with the snow and it can't kill the rotation. Disappointment there for Jonas Bosiger. We might not be able to see his face, but the sort of sighing arms folded on the nose of the board tell us everything we need to know. 26.93. Betters is 26.2, but it's not going to push him up out of 10th position. Hiroaki Kunitaki. We saw a glimpse of what he was capable of in the first run. For me, the first rider who really could quite easily knock Matson off his perch. Front flip hand plant. It's a beautiful back one on. 270 out of the waterfall. Got a little bit different with that almost chicane 450. Out a little bit simpler. Oh. And there for the switchback 9, I think. Even looked like he went switchback 10. Over rotating. And for the backside 360. If you're learning slopestyle, that is where you start, the backside 360. Into the switchback 12 to toe edge catch. That's ridiculous. Love to have seen him working there. So, the one Japanese hopeful is going to have to take 9th place, it seems. And it might be worse because Nicholas Huber and Moritz Tonon are still to go who are behind him. So potentially 11th place beckoning if those two Swiss, Huber and Tonon, put down decent runs. Switchback 10, the shark fin. That's what it means to him. 24.48, he'll take that 29.7 from the first run. Us two, Hiroaki. So next in, Måns Roysland. So talented. He is a technical master, has some of the biggest tricks in the game and so much power on takeoffs. Cap 270, back lip to lovely sort of front bunt lip slide. 270 on to 450 out, only just locked into that. Backside 9. Switchback 16 again. Yes, he is. And lays it down immaculately. If this one's clean, we're on a heat up. Front 14! I actually think I heard him say, oh, almost then. Oh, so close. So close for Måns Roysland. Norwegian coaches disappointed by that one. So 270 up, lovely little kind of backside disaster stall. Lip slide to bunt slide, 270 out. Beautiful style on that. Look at that. So poised. It's like a lioness hunting her prey. I was worried about that. He was actually on his edge as he was trying to get purchase into the 450. It's the back 9 tail, and he does get a hold of that grab eventually. Looked like he might just be tickling it. Winds up, switch backside 16, and he makes short work of that, makes it look so easy. And he's going for a front 14 here. Gets that tail grab really solid. But, let's have a look. Oh, it's like he stood up on his toe edge. He wanted to drift across the landing, and he knows how simple the mistake was. Måns Roysland, 5th place. Disappointment for the big Norwegian. Next up, Marcus Cleveland.
Yeah, it's a weird year going on right now with the pandemic and everything. To be able to compete here at the laax Open, it's insane. Missed out last year due to my knee. So it's awesome to be back, and of course this is my favorite place, so it's amazing.
Marcus Cleveland, no question, the most talented technical slope rider out there. He just struggles to put it into competition. So backside 180 nose tap, 270 on, 270 off on the waterfall. Looking very smooth on this second run. 450 on. Let's take a look. Comes in on the double crippler, and it's massive over the shark's fin. Coming down, winds up backside. 16, lays that down immaculately as well. Into cab. 12, and he's put his hand down. Oh, Marcus Cleveland. Disappointment for Marcus Cleveland on that one. He was looking so smooth at the top of the course. 270 on, 270 off, then 270 on, 450 off. Oh no, 270 off. Here's the end of that. Cab 12. He just can't stand up. Such incredible spatial awareness. Go and have a look at his Instagram and see what he was doing over this course on the knuckles. Probably as technical as the run you've just seen, maybe more. So Torgeir Berggren. Can Torgeir Berggren muscle his way into the top three? He is the whole package. He's got that creativity and style matched by technicality. Never been great at performing on the biggest stage. Comes in. Blunt, 270 out. Fairly basic up top on the rails. Nothing too spectacular there. As he winds up, frontside 900. Sits back, hands down, and he's made the same mistake as Cleveland. The Norwegians, like the Swiss, have got a stacked field in this final, and yet they can't make it pay. The Swedish and German lockout of the podium continues. Nicholas Mattsson, 84.28. Leon Wockensberger on 78.9. Switchback blunt, 270 out. Cab 270 on, 270 out. Front 9. What went wrong there? Just, he looked square, he looked settled on top of it. Pencil hand drag over the knuckle though. Love that. So 27.46. Four riders left to drop. Only one of them is in the top three. So plenty of drama left to unfold here. The Swiss, there's Nicholas Mattsson, carefully watching back up to the top of the course as Moritz Tonno gets ready to drop. Moritz, a regular footer at Grindelwald. Couldn't get comfortable on the rails up at the top. Takes a breath. So Moritz Tonno skipping in. Regular footer, dropping in switch. Waddles, penguin style over that, 270 on, cab 270 on, 270 off. So much smoother up here now, 810 off the rail, and he's gone for broke. He really wanted that, but it wasn't to be. 3 to switch back 12. Going to try and push his way up the rankings a little bit here, I think. To Front 14, beautiful. It's a glimpse of the run that we could have seen and we did see in semi-finals that earned Moritz the top spot. And you can see his reaction coming down that landing. He knows how close he was to putting that together, and he really should have done better. .270 on, 270 off. Maybe he got good purchase, but maybe he needed to bend his legs a little more on that rail and just be able to explode up off it. Needed a tiny bit more air time. So Moritz Tonal. Disappointment for him. Currently sat in 12th place of a 12-man final. I think he'll have improved that, but just because he put the kickers in. But I reckon he could move up to 8th or 9th. Be interesting that like just carrying on and doing a few of the kickers could be the difference between 5 places. 6 places. He's moved up into 7th place with that run. He got a 43.96 because he still went and smashed up those jumps. Okay, Leon Wockensberger currently in 2nd place. Can he do the unthinkable and complete this route and take out the win after such long recovery? Interesting fact about him, he always has his nails painted. And his, you know what, his role models are Torstein Hogmo and Kazu Kokuba, which actually tells you a lot about his style, that really strong, kind of wide stanced, slow, quiet style. Got sponsored at age 8, actually. Went to snowboard school in Germany. So let's see what he's got here. Where can he improve? He needs to find 6 points if he's going to overhaul Nicholas Madsen in 1st place. And Wockensberger. Oh, that was lovely. Definitely better than his first run there. Didn't quite, he did get the grab in, but he had to rush it. 450 off. Lovely, huge front 9 and clings onto it. Winds up, switch, backside 12. Plenty of speed into this backside 1440 triple cork. So 4 horizontal spins, 3 on that corked off axis. And beautiful through the roller, and again we see that primal scream. So, he loves this course. Leon Wockensberger, 270 up to pivot, and then front blunt to 270 out on the waterfall rail. Here's the other angle of it. Actually, a lip slide. Jumps up, puts the back foot over it. 270 on, 450 out. Just sneaks that grab in, doesn't he? Front double cork 9. This. So easy. He's lined up forwards again now for this backside triple cork 1440. Head goes under the board 3 times. That last dip, always nerve-wracking for a rider. Just got 3 butter over the roller into the front side 540 road yard. So Leon Wockensberger is guaranteed, 77.03, not as good as his first run score, but he's guaranteed a spot on the podium now. The only man who can take it, actually no, that's completely wrong. Nicholas Huber and Moritz Bolt still to drop. Nicholas Huber, so talented, we know he's got what it takes. Can he settle into this course? Outside 180 now then. Full slide switch up. 270 on, 270 off. Oh, switchback 7. No, backside 7. How did he drop a back 7? Of all the things to drop. That just doesn't make any sense. When you can chuck a rotation like that, you are not allowed to drop a backside 7. Beautiful frontside 3 nose bone. So Nicholas Huber, penultimate rider to drop, and knows this won't be good enough to push him up into the top 6. Man from Korvac has kept his sense of humour, but well worth a follow on Instagram. Very entertaining.
Mobile, get it!
Mobile, Moritz Ball, the last man to drop. Can he deliver on all of the promise of semi-finals? That's the big question. 39.28 for 9th place. So a lot of pressure now on Moritz Ball. Currently sat in 10th position. Can the 20-year-old Swiss rider recapture the form of the semi-finals and unseat this man, Nicholas Madsen, at the top of the standings? Moritz Ball has got his music on. The only rider coming in here over the doghouse. That little stall there. Difficult angle to approach. Oh, and he's come off early. Oh, it's so difficult to come at the waterfall from that angle. He's got 450 out. Don't think he can pull the wool over the judges' eyes. He's going to need something very big. Comes in. Triple cork 14. Frontside 1260. Oh, switch backside 1260 out of the bird bath. But he popped off the front there and it wasn't to be. Oh, so disappointing for Moritz Ball. Ah, he was close. So close. Take a look back through the highlights of this. There's the doghouse. Just stalls up on that, and that's that difficult angle to front lip. But slides over, he can't lock onto the rail. You see his front foot go over and then his balance is pushed. Cab 360 to 540 out. Cab double 9, tail grab. The triple 14. Yeah, that was so simple. In the front 12 tail. He would have got away with this. He was looking so good. It might not have been a podium position. Might have been close, but letting go of a switchback 12 there. Literally 10 meters from the finish. He'll be disappointed about that. That was the difference of 7 or 8 places there. I say that, he's actually in 7th, so it's probably the difference of 3 or 4 places. So Moritz Ball, first place qualifier, has to settle for 7th position.
Leon, congratulations, second place here. Tell us how you're feeling, how proud you are with that result.
I'm feeling